Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Sheldon, and this is another episode of Behind the Enthusiast. Today, we're going to be taking a look at what Harley-Davidson teased at the end of their world premiere back in January. For those of you who watched the premiere, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is one of the new Sportster models, which, rumor has it, is a 975, and it is going to be one of the new Sportsters in the Sport lineup. So not a whole lot to go off of, but I do have a few things to discuss, some details of the teased aesthetics of the bike, and potentially what the motor is actually going to have on it, so performance numbers, that sort of thing. So let's get into it. So first things first, everyone knows that the Sportster lineup is being shaken up quite a bit. We've had some models discontinued, mainly the Iron 1200, which was dropped for 2022. So at the moment we have the Iron 883 and the 48. Now, as I mentioned in the previous video, the 48, to me, because the Sportster S exists, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to have the 48 because it is a very similar styled motorcycle. However, it is just severely underpowered. Now, it does have a 1200 in it, but the 1250 in the Sportster S is putting out 121 horsepower, and there's just the numbers. I know some people are going to say, well, you know, it's a different bike, it's old technology, and well, that's the reason why they're being phased out. So an Iron 883, for example, depending on the source that you're looking at online, I've seen 49, I've seen 51, I've seen 54 horsepower as well. So around 50 horsepower, not a whole lot, right, coming out of the 883. But in terms of what this 975 engine might have in it, I'm thinking that based on the Pan America being a 1250, having 150 horsepower, the Sportster S being a detuned engine and having 121, I think that we can expect something in and around 70 to 90. I know there's, it's a pretty big gap, there's 20 horsepower in there. But if I had to pick a number, I would probably go with 80, 75, 80. I don't think we're going to see close to 100. I think that's a little bit high of an expectation. However, the 975 motor, I think, is going to be really, really nice. It's going to be a great replacement for the Iron 883. And with the 48 basically, well, I think it's already got its foot halfway out the door to the graveyard. So for me, my expectation is that by 2023, it's kind of borderline, right? Because we have the anniversary coming up for 120 years. And so, it does make me wonder. I think that because the anniversary is coming up for Harley-Davidson, they're probably going to be waving goodbye to the Sportster models and introducing, well, the 975 this summer at some point, the middle or the end, I'm not too sure. But that's my expectation, along with maybe some other things as well. But I think that in terms of them phasing it out, 2022 could potentially be the last year, or 2023 is going to be the last year. I would be very surprised to see it in 24 or 25. I don't think that's going to happen. So in terms of the styling, first things first, the gas tank doesn't really even look like a gas tank. It's all plastic. It doesn't look like there's a filler compared to the Sportster S or the Pan America, where they have that nice metal gas cap. It flips up. That is not visible. So out of frame, there might be a side-mounted, right side-mounted gas cap, maybe a little bit more standard. That is why I consider the Sportster 975, which I think is what they're probably going to call it, a standard Sportster. So you have that very sleek, simple, clean gas tank. So the center console looks just to be plastic. Doesn't look like you can push on anything. The engine, obviously, 975. It's the all blacked out Revolution Max motor. And in terms of the exhaust, you have a 2-into-1 exhaust. It does look pretty good. I think because it's a 2-into-1, I think that that is going to help with the performance of the bike. It looks really nice. It's all blacked out, so I'm really liking the design cues. And when you look at the one photo, you can actually see a little glimpse of the seat, which looks like a very low profile seat, kind of similar to the 48 at the moment. So I'm expecting the seat to be, well, a solo seat for starters. So I don't think there's going to be passenger pegs on this one as well. I think the Sportster lineup is probably going to, remain a solo rider setup. Now, in terms of the front of the bike, well, there's a lot going on. The cowling, or the fairing, if you will, has a little cutout in it, and you can actually see the bars through the very top of it, and there's a little cutout where you can actually see the riser. Now, by the looks of things, this is my guess, the riser is probably anywhere from 5 to 6 inches. That is just my guess. I don't know exactly. However, even if the bars are, raised up that much, it is still going to be more of a cruiser standard positioning for the rider. However, that little glimpse through the opening in the cowling, the clamp, basically where your gauges would be, I don't see anything. I just see the clamp. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they are taking the styling off of the Street Bob, and then it's just going to be a very simple gauge. I don't think we're actually going to have that, the LCD screen or whatever like the Sportster S. I don't think this model is actually going to have a lot of bells and whistles on it. It may be, the better motor, but I'm not anticipating a lot of extra features on it, especially if my hunch about the handlebar display, with that all built into one, like the Street Bob, if my hunch is correct based on that photo, we're not going to see a whole lot of fancy features on this bike, so hence why I'm sticking with the standard Sportster 975, so I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of crazy stuff on it. But in terms of the design, it's going to be all blacked out, so aesthetically it's really pleasing from what I can see. But those are just my thoughts. I want to pass the question on to you guys. What do you guys think Harley is actually going to be introducing mid to late summer, or when do you guys think they're going to be releasing it? So leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think of this motorcycle, the teaser. If you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button so I know that it's working. And as usual, be sure to subscribe so you guys don't miss out on future content on the channel, and I will catch you guys in the next one.